Welcome to the USA House Partners Podcast. Proud grandfather of 6. He was supposed to be Pop, but his oldest twin grandkids pronounced it Pock, so he's forever known as Pock.
Hey, it's Broker Greg, and welcome back to the USA House Partners Podcast. I'm really glad you're here today because we're going to talk about something I've been wanting to cover for a while now. And honestly, when I try to explain this to people in person, the reaction I get almost every single time is some version of, wait, why doesn't everybody do it this way? And that's a fair question. And by the end of this episode, you're going to understand exactly why the traditional way of selling a home is quietly costing sellers thousands of dollars they don't even realize they're giving away. And what we do differently here at USA House Partners, it puts that money back where it belongs. In your pocket. Now, if you've been with us for a few episodes, you already know we serve two groups of people here on the show. We've got our USA Homeowner Nation, those of you working toward owning a piece of this country, and we've got our smart sellers, the folks who are ready to move, ready to maximize what they've built, and smart enough to know there's more than one way to sell a house. Today's episode is for our smart sellers, though, specifically the ones who want to take the traditional listing route, get the home on the market, get broad buyer exposure, get top dollar, but who are tired of watching a chunk of their equity walk out the door at closing in the form of a commission check. Because here's the thing, and I'll say this plainly, commission is the single largest fee most sellers pay in their entire transaction. And for most people, it never even gets questioned. It's just expected. It's just the way it works. Until now. Let me set the scene for you. You've owned your home for a while. You've built equity, you've made payments, you've maintained the property, maybe you've done some upgrades along the way. You've done the work. So, you call up a real estate agent, you list the home, and when the dust settles and you're sitting at the closing table, here comes a line item that, depending on your home's price, could be anywhere from $10,000 to $25,000 or more. Just gone off the top before you see a dime. That's the commission. And in the traditional model, it comes straight out of your proceeds as the seller, not the buyer's pocket. Now, let me do some quick math so this hits the way it should. If your home sells for $400,000 and the commission's 5 or 6%, it's pretty standard in this industry for decades, you're writing a check somewhere between $20,000 and $24,000 just in commission alone, before closing costs, before anything else. On a $500,000 home, $25,000 to $30,000. I want you to think about that number for a second. Think about what it represents. That's a year of mortgage payments for some people. That's a car. That's a semester of college tuition. And it's just leaving the table. Now, I'm not here to vilify the traditional real estate model. There are a lot of good agents out there doing great work. But the question smart sellers should be asking, the question nobody in the industry really wants you to ask, is this: does it always have to be this way? The answer is no. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about here today. Here at USA House Partners, we built something we call the zero commission home selling system. I'm going to walk you through exactly what that means, how it works, and why, when it's actually done right, it actually generates a higher net offer for the seller than the traditional listing process does. And that last part might sound like I'm overselling it. So let me explain the mechanics, and you can decide for yourself. The core idea is straightforward. It's in a traditional sale, the seller pays the commission. In our system, the seller pays no commission. Instead, a buyer premium is built into the transaction on the buyer's side. Now, when I explain this to sellers, the first question I usually get is, does that scare buyers away? And the answer, when you understand how the system is structured, is no. And here's why. Buyers just don't look at the fee structure in isolation. They look at the total value of what they're getting. A well-presented home with strong market demand and a competitive offer environment is going to attract serious buyers regardless. And serious buyers who are ready to move, who've done their homework, who want that home, they factor in the full picture. What this system does is shift the commission where it comes from. Instead of coming out of the seller's proceeds, it comes from the buyer's side of the transaction. The seller walks away with more. It's that simple. But, and this is the part I really want you to hear, the zero commission piece is only half the story, because we didn't just change the fee structure, we changed the entire selling process in a way that's specifically designed to generate the highest possible offer on your property. So let me walk you through how the system actually works. Start to finish. The zero commission home selling system runs on a 14-day schedule. Every day has a purpose, and the way those 14 days are structured, the sequence of it is what creates the outcome. Let me walk you through it. The first 7 days of the system are about one thing: creating demand before the door ever opens. During week 1, we run an intensive online and social media marketing campaign for your property. Professional photos, video, compelling copy, all of it goes out across every major platform. We're putting your home in front of as many qualified buyers as possible. But here's the part that surprises people. During that entire first week, no showings. Nobody gets in the door. Not one individual showing. Not one private walkthrough. Not one buyer getting a sneak peek at the property on their own terms. And that is completely intentional, because what we're doing during that first week isn't just marketing the home. We're building a wait list. We're creating anticipation. We're letting buyers get curious, get interested, get emotionally invested in a property they haven't been able to see yet. And there's real psychology at work here. When people want something they can't have immediately, that makes them want it more. When a buyer knows other buyers are also wanting to see the same property, the perceived value of that home goes up before anyone has even walked through the door. Week 1 builds the pressure, and then we release it Saturday and Sunday of the second week. That's days 8 and 9 in our 14-day schedule is what we call the mega open house. And I want you to understand what this is, because it's not a typical open house. This isn't a Saturday afternoon where a handful of people wander in over a few hours while they just sits there at the kitchen table and stack of brochures. This is a structured, high-energy, 2-day event where every buyer who's been waiting all week finally gets their chance to see the property, and they all show up together. Think about what that looks like from a buyer's perspective. You walk in and the house is full. There are other buyers there. They're looking at the same kitchen you're looking at. They're standing in the same backyard. Feel the interest in the room, and you can see it on each other's faces. That does something to a buyer's mindset that no individual private showing ever could. It makes the competition real. It makes it visible. And visible competition, the kind where you can see with your own eyes that other people want what you want, that is one of the most powerful psychological drivers in any purchasing decision. Buyers who come out of a mega open house don't wonder if they should make an offer. They wonder if they're going to win one. And that's exactly the mindset we want them walking in with when the offer process opens. Monday through Thursday of week 2, days 10 through 13, that's when the offers come in. And they don't come in the old-fashioned way. We use an online competitive bidding platform to manage the offer process. Buyers submit their offers digitally through a structured system, full transparency into the competitive environment. That's important. In a traditional offer situation, a buyer submits a number in the dark. They guess what it's going to take. They might go in low, hoping to negotiate. They might not put their best foot forward because they don't know what they're up against. Our platform changes that dynamic entirely. Buyers know they're in competition. They know the clock's running. And that combination, real competition with a hard deadline, consistently produces stronger offers than a drawn-out, single-buyer negotiation ever would. Think about it from basic economics. A seller negotiating with one buyer has limited leverage. A seller reviewing multiple competitive offers submitted by buyers who know exactly what they're competing against, that seller has all the leverage. That's what the 4-day online offer window creates. Maximum leverage, maximum price discovery, maximum outcome. By the end of day 13, every offer is in. Day 14 is where you, the seller, make your decision. You review the offers side by side, price, terms, financing type, closing timeline, net proceeds. You see everything. And then you choose the deal that works best for you. No guesswork. No wondering if you left money on the table, because you ran a process specifically designed to make sure you didn't. So let's put all this together and talk about what a smart seller actually walks away with when they use this system. 1, no commission coming out of your proceeds. 0. That alone would be $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 or more that stays in your pocket, depending on your home's price. 2, a buyer pool that's been building anticipation for a full week before they ever set foot in your home. Buyers who are emotionally invested before the door even opens. 3, a mega open house that makes competition visible and real, not just theoretical. Buyers who can see and feel what other people want, what they want. 4 is a structured, competitive online offer process with a hard deadline that eliminates lowball guesswork and consistently drives offers higher. And 5, a final offer that comes from a competitive market, not a single negotiation with a single buyer, who's doing everything they can to pay less. That's the zero commission home selling system. And when you add up what it does, no commission on the seller's side, plus a competitive process that drives the offer price up, smart sellers are consistently walking away with more money at closing than they would have gotten through a traditional listing. Not just the same, more. If you're a smart seller and this is resonating with you, I want you to reach out to us. Come talk to us about whether the zero commission home selling system is the right fit for your property and your situation. Because not every home is the same. Not every market is the same. And we'd rather have a real conversation with you than make promises that aren't specific to you. What I can tell you is this: if you're planning to sell and you haven't at least explored a zero commission option with a competitive 14-day process behind it, you owe it to yourself to find out what it could mean for your bottom line. Because the difference between the traditional way and this way, when you do the math, it's not a small number. Smart sellers know the game, and now you know a little more of it yourself. To our USA Homeowner Nation listeners, we haven't forgotten about you. Our buyer side content is running right alongside this, and we've got a lot more coming your way on the path to homeownership, alternative financing, and everything in between. So stay with us. As we close out and go into our week, I'd like you to remember the words of Proverbs chapter 3, verses 33 and 34. The Lord blesses the home of the righteous, with the wise inheriting honor and the humble receiving favor. I'm Broker Greg. This is USA House Partners Podcast, and we'll see you next time.